for the night.
We'll call to order the Stephenville Special Town Council meeting agenda for Thursday, August 29th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. Janelle, would you please take the roll call?
Councilor Barker, she has an excused absence tonight. Councilor Brown. Here. Councilor Nelson.
Here.
Councilor Smith. And Mayor Mickelson.
Here, would you all please stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, move to item number 3, public comments. Comments on anything that is not on the agenda tonight. Anything not on the agenda.
Don't put me on the spot. I'm happy at this moment.
Okay. Seeing none, we're moving on to item number 4, new business, discussion decision, resolution number 554, a resolution of the town of Stephenville, Montana, emergency proclamation order 2024-01, thunderstorm wind event of 2024. So a little history on this. I went to the fire briefing last Saturday night up at Super One. And while I was standing there talking to Sheriff Holden, Eric Hoover came up and started talking to me about all the wind damage we had here in town from the day before. He was telling me about all the damage Hamilton had. And he said that we needed to put in an emergency declaration. I knew nothing about this. So we could get a 2 mil levy and it would go on our taxes basically about $8, the estimate that's made up by the state. And then, once we exhausted the $7,100 of the hours, then we asked the state for help and they would pitch in. Then we make an itemized list of all the things that we needed. Anyway, long story short, I was ready to do that. And then he called me, what was it, Tuesday? He called me Tuesday and said, hold off on that because the word is that Ravalli County is going to be declared a disaster. And when he does that, then they're hoping that the president will step in and declare.
The governor declares that.
Right, not this year. This is just a middle levy thing.
I'm talking about the disaster.
Right. He did for Hamilton already. But they're looking at even bigger stuff. They're looking at a national disaster for this whole area.
Okay.
He told me to hold off on this, but he told me by doing a proclamation tonight and the council approving it, and then letting him know that strengthens the case for the whole valley.
All right.
Because that's what we're doing. It gives us a better chance, not just us, but everybody with the damage that they have. So with that, could I entertain a motion, please?
Oh, okay.
Councilmember Smith.
I move that we declare resolution 554, resolution for the town of Stevensville, Montana, emergency proclamation, order 2024-1 thunderstorm wind event for 2024.
We have a motion by Councilmember Smith. Do we have a second? Councilmember Nelson.
I'll second that.
We have a motion, we have a second. Before you guys open the discussion, would you mind if I read this into the public record?
Sure.
Okay. Resolution number 554, a resolution of the town of Stephenville, Montana, emergency proclamation order 2024-01, thunderstorm wind event 2024. Whereas on August 23rd, 2024, the town of Stevensville experienced a severe thunderstorm event with high wind gusts of at least 26 miles per hour, with reported gusts in surrounding areas of up to 52 miles an hour, lightning strikes, and other storm behaviors. Whereas this event impacted the town of Stephenville approximately 3:30 p.m., creating substantial damage to include trees falling in the public streets and on parked vehicles and homes, trees falling on power lines, creating interruption in power services for many portions of the town of Stephenville. The thunderstorm event also separated existing wildland fires and created residential fires, further taxing local volunteer fire services and creating unhealthy air quality. Whereas severe thunderstorm conditions may continue to reoccur and the current emergency response and damage cleanup is expected to overextend or exhaust local volunteer suppression and town public works and present hazardous working conditions and health risks to responding fire and public safety personnel, hereby threatening lives and property. Whereas this event has caused damage and continues to threaten the boundaries of the town of Stephenville as well as the surrounding area. Whereas under these volatile conditions, incident commanders responding to events may need to exercise the powers granted to them through the Ravalli County Emergency Operations Guideline in order to protect lives and property. And whereas Mayor Bob Michelson, the principal executive officer for the town of Stephenville, in consultation with and upon the recommendation of Fire Chief Jeff Motley of the Stephenville Fire Department, Stephenville Public Works Director Stephen Lassiter, and Eric Hoover, the Director of Ravalli County Office of Emergency Management, have decided the following response and protective measures are necessary to protect public health, safety, and property. And whereas MCA 10-3-402 authorizes an emergency proclamation by the principal executive officer of a local government whenever the officer determines there is an emergency. And whereas MCA 10-3-404 states that an emergency proclamation by the principal executive officer of a local government shall indicate the nature of the emergency, the area threatened, and the conditions which have been brought by the proclamation. And whereas an emergency proclamation is necessary in order to activate applicable parts of local emergency planning and to authorize the furnishing of aid and assistance in accordance with such plans and programs. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor Bob Michelson, the principal executive officer of the town of Stephenville, pursuant to the above findings, do hereby declare that an emergency exists in the town of Stephenville, Ravalli County, effective August 26, 2024. Be it further resolved that this proclamation is issued to the extent possible in order to protect the lives and property of the people of the town of Stephenville, as well as town fire suppression, emergency staff, and town staff. Be it further resolved that in order to bring the contents of this proclamation order to the attention of the general public, copies of this emergency proclamation shall be immediately posted on the town of Stephenville website and posted on Town Hall, 206 Buck Street, and shall be filed with the town clerk and the Montana Disaster and Emergency Services Division in Helena. Pursuant to MCA 10-3-402, this emergency proclamation shall continue until it is terminated with a disaster declaration or when the principal executive officer determines that the emergency no longer exists. With that, I'll open up discussion with the council if you have any questions. Yes,
Have you used this at all to clean up your farms?
that is it. I'll check it.
Clean up what?
Where farms?
Oh,
That's the correct thing. I'll look into it. Any other questions from the council? Councilmember Brown.
Is there, it says that we have to terminate this, so that's something we need to keep on our radar to bring back up and to terminate it and close this
Yes.
out afterwards.
When I deem that it is necessary.
Yeah.
The last one. Hopefully it won't be like that two marriages that kept on for 3 years.
Correct.
Any other questions from the council before I turn to the public?
okay, we're just voting on this wording only, and no mill levies or
No,
nothing's involved in
no,
this.
we were going to do that, and I would have explained it all, but Eric said to hold off on this
Very good.
because.
Good.
Any questions from the public?
In answer to your question, and plus I'd like to make a comment on that in regards to Bird Farms. I mean, we just had a couple days ago, a little bit of a whiff of number 8 storm this year. I've counted them because I've had to clean up stuff out of the yard for the last 7. Take care of the Evans residents and my own. And the amount of brush and the amount of branches and the amount of just debris that comes out of the Third and Park property in question is unbelievable. You drive by and it's again, I don't know where the branches come from, because those trees keep shedding them every storm. And it's out of control, I mean, big ones to where we gotta move them out of the street and what have you. So in my opinion, my suggestion, my hope and my dream here, in regards to the question of that corner, I see no reason why we can't get that trees, the cottonwoods not cut down, but trimmed up and cleaned up, and the debris that is left is a big, big start and a big, big help to pay for. So,
And those big trees along the boulevard there, which are ours, of course, yeah, they would fall into that because they were damaged.
yeah. I mean, and the last thing I'd like to see is any removal. It's just wise and delicate trimming and trimming, cleaning out and debris, what have you, because that'd be a devastation in that corner if those trees were taken out. But they need to be trimmed up a lot. So, and that could fall under this, which we're going today. And I have other comments and other answers on that property, but I'll make them at another meeting.
Okay, any other questions from the public? Any further comments from the council? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilor Brown? Aye. Councilor Nelson?
Aye.
And Councilor Smith?
Motion passes 3-0. Motion to adjourn,
I make a motion.
you have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
It's gotta be a record. I was gonna say.
You still have time to go off.
I was leaving it. I was just gonna say.
Oh, I didn't think it's funny.
It wasn't also the.
I'll have to do that then,
Well,
you
you
know.
see, all our fires, our farms, that's scary.